Good evening and welcome to our school board meeting, September 23rd. Mr. Romano, could you take?
Mr. Chumley.
Yes.
Mrs. Brinkman.
Present.
Mr. Rudy.
Present.
Mr. Patton.
Present.
4 present, and we would like to acknowledge the absence of Mrs. Delaney. In our sadness and our sympathy for her family and for the community that we have lost her. She was a pillar to this community, to the school district, and it is with sorrow that we proceed as we go forward. The best thing we can do as a board, as administrators, as a school district, as a community, is honor everything that she was about, and that means to keep going on the path that she had taken for us and laid out. I believe that's the best way that we can honor her and remember her. After this meeting, we will be going to the services for Mrs. Delaney. That is at Crossroads, and it does start at 12:30. Just paying our respects to her and to her family and celebrating her life. Can you proceed with the pledge?
Please stand and join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, superintendent's business.
Ellie is going to share the field trip.
Hi.
Just do it from there.
Yeah, good afternoon. Today, for your approval, we have an overnight field trip for Clough Pike Elementary School. It's a yearly trip that they take. It's an outdoor education field trip to Camp Campbell Guard. That field trip will take place, they'll depart on October 18th, return on October 20th. There are considerations in place for families who may not be able to afford the cost of the trip. That's not been a barrier in the past to anyone being able to attend. So on behalf of the superintendent, I respectfully request that we approve the the field trip as presented.
You've heard the recommendation. May I ask for a motion?
So moved.
In a second.
I'll second it.
Any questions? Mr. Romano.
Mr. Rudy.
Yes.
Mr. Patton.
Yes.
Mrs. Brinkman.
Yes.
Mr. Chumley.
Yes.
4 yes.
Item 3, treasurer's business.
Okay, thank you. As required by law, the district has to adopt an annual appropriation measure prior to September 30th. The progress is before the fiscal year starts in June or before June 30th, we adopted a temporary appropriation measure. Typically that measure for the general fund and for some of the other funds is about 70%, 75% of what we expect. That was done at our June meeting. So in order to comply with law and with our budgeting process, the annual appropriation measure is before you being recommended. One of the things to note is, the total amount. Our general fund is, for this year, is a little bit over $95 million. The total budget for the school district for this fiscal year, July 1 through June 30th, is over $140 million. We are not a small business. We serve nearly 8,400 students in the district, and the population that brings those school children to us. So the budget is within our forecast, the 5-year forecast that we do twice a year in May and November, and it includes all the adjustments that each month we have been putting forward, whether they are personnel, whether they are benefit adjustments, or any supplies, materials, or services that we need. So it is a recommendation for the board to adopt the annual appropriation measure for the period beginning July 1 and ending June 30th, 2024.
You've heard the recommendation. I'll put that on the floor in the form of a motion and ask for a second.
Second.
Any questions? Mr. Romano.
Thank you. Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
Mrs. Brinkman?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
4 yes.
We have no need for executive session.
Mr. Chumley, before we adjourn, just a reminder to everybody that information about applying for the board is on our website. So the application process is established, and what's the deadline?
October 4th.
Oh, October 4th?
We did
October.
extend that deadline, so it originally was this coming Monday, and that has been extended to October 4th.
Okay, so everything's on the website, and if you have questions, you can call our office.
All right, item 5, adjournment. Mr. Romano, could you pull us out?
Need a motion to adjourn with Mr. Chumley, a second.
Second.
Mrs. Brinkman, thank you. So, Mr. Chumley?
Yes.
Mrs. Brinkman?
Yes.
Mr. Patton?
Yes.
Mr. Rudy?
Yes.
4 yes.
All right, thank you. Our next meeting will be October 9th. Thank you, have a good day.